What's up, guys? It's kind of surreal opening for a marathon like this. Hi, everybody. I'm BashPrime.
I'm Sheik Your Booty.
And today we'll be playing Metroid Prime 2 Echoes for the Nintendo GameCube. This will be 80%. My estimate is extremely conservative because I'm not that good at the video game. I'm like decent, but I don't know.
It's also hard.
Yeah. I don't know. It's a fun category. There's gonna be some fun tricks to showcase, getting showcased here. If we are ready on timer, actually, I'm gonna go in game, but I'll call you down. There's actually a couple new tricks I'll get to show off that have mainly been found since like 2020 or so. All right, we're gonna start in 3, 2, 1, go! Hey! So Echoes is kind of unique for the Prime trilogy in that it actually starts you off in the same game world as where the entire game takes place. It's not like in its own isolated tutorial section. It's just part of Planet Aether itself. I guess lore-wise, Samus is sent to investigate a marooned Galactic Federation squadron that sent out a distress signal here, and ends up crash landing herself, and realizes things are kind of amiss here. They set up base here at the Splinter Hive, but we're not going to worry about that too much because we're actually just going to go out of bounds through this ceiling right here, if I can actually go through it. Fun fact, we didn't know about this ceiling until like 12 years after the game came out. Thanks, shouts to Prime World Editor, Aruki, and I believe E-Dragon for, I think, making the initial discovery back in like 2015 or 2016. You want to just talk about what I'm doing here?
Yeah, so right now, every room is inside of a box that's loaded at any time, and right now he's going in and out of bounds. He's got a 3-frame window to actually get a jump and gain height. So that was really clean Aether jumping right there. Aether jumping is what it's normally called.
Yeah, I'm doing so. I'm abusing like the game's frame counter. There's a mechanic called Coyote Time, which is like the best name, where I think to make platforming more lenient, if you walk off a ledge, Samus is still you can still get an actionable jump. I don't think I got that. Oh, I didn't shoot it before, actually. My bad. I should probably focus real quick. Yeah, so you have a 3-frame window where you can still input a jump even if you're airborne. And whenever I go in and out of the bounding box, the game thinks I'm walking off a ledge. And so while it is kind of a tight frame window, it's actually like it's more of a rhythm than anything else. And then that part in particular, without a bounds, a lot of it's like very choreographed movement. It's not like so free that you can just walk anywhere. There are some instances where you can just sort of walk around the map itself, but if I'm like interacting with the collision, like it's not necessarily standable from like the top of like, let's say, a hallway, and so I have to be conscious of that. Yeah. But we're going back in bounds real quick to get this E-Tank for not just safety. I'd get this in my PB attempts anyways. If I were like Mr. Miguel and I'm like the world record holder and just amazing, he would actually stay out of bounds, and I'm about to go out of bounds again here. This room's called Temple Assembly Site, or TAS. So technically this trick right here is TAS only. And I can't do it. So literally I'm a human, I'm not
a robot.
No. Yeah, I have to do what's called a slope jump here. I can talk about either now or later. Well, there's another one coming up, but that's more important, I think. Or, well, not more important, but it's like also important.
Yeah.
This one's actually really important. Did I? Okay, there we go.
Yeah, we're gonna end up spending a lot of this run out of bounds.
Yeah. What are you talking about? This game's not broken at all.
Not at all.
So I need to. Also, another thing is that only a few rooms in the game are loaded at a time. The GameCube is a whopping 24 megabytes of RAM back in the good old days of like 2001 to 2005 or so. And yeah, I could just pick up that power box extension from Out of Bounds. And also, we didn't even talk about why I did that first Out of Bounds to begin with. There's a cutscene in the tutorial where you lose your items, or as Amber CXC calls it now, and I can't get out of my head, abilities. And I can't think of it any other way anymore. And and we can just skip that. So we now have like morph ball bombs. We already have missiles to start with. We don't have to go out of our way to get them. Space jump boots, boost ball, spider ball. And then with that power bomb expansion, I actually have like every morph ball ability in the game in like first like I don't know few minutes. And then I meant to dash off that, but okay, never mind. I'm BashPrime. Here, I can recover this real quick. If I can get Aether jump, there we go. And then since I got the power bomb expansion, normally in game, okay, there we go. That wasn't close enough. Normally you would go out of your way to, you find out like all the Galactic Federation soldiers are dead, and then you make your way to Great Temple. You talk to Yumos for the first time, get the Violet Translator, which unlocks the gate that leads to this elevator and to Aegon Wastes, but we can just skip all that. We'll be getting Violet later. I'll need it for mainly the end game, I think, but since I have all the tools needed to just bypass a lot of the initial like early game like locks, it's a lot more optimal.
So now that we skipped a bunch of temple grounds, we're going into Aegon Wastes.
Yeah, it's the first like main area of the game. So normally you kind of go out of your way to start collecting like your the first of like your stolen items. So the first two being morph ball bombs and space jump boots. Since we already have those, then the game has you go into the pirate base to get Dark Beam and Light Beam, which are very core to this game. For those of you that haven't played Metroid Prime 2, it's very much like Link to the Past in that, spoiler alert, there is a light world and dark world. And you spend your time going between like the two dimensions. Now, while I could go through the front of Pirate Labs right now, there's like a pirate fight, and then the game has you kind of going like all the way around Labs to get to Dark Beam, and we're just gonna instead go out of bounds here. I'm gonna use a slope jump right here if you want to talk about that real quick.
Yeah, so if you push yourself up
fail?
against any sort of slope as you're jumping, you will actually gain height and be able to get to some stuff that you're not supposed to, as you can see here. And plenty of this game is standable, as you can also see.
Oh, shoot. That was a good recovery.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like he was talking about before. It's very choreographed movement. There's a lot of spots that you can end up standing on out of bounds that'll kind of grab you and
Yeah, I
break
got caught
yourself
there.
loose with morph ball. In a lot of cases, but
Yeah. So I need Light Beam normally to get through this section. Oh my! Oh, actually, I was too good. And I wasn't expecting it. Oh, I actually failed that too. I demonstrated both the reposition and like just getting it like the fast way. So I actually have to like count in my head a rhythm so I know when to jump. There we go.
yeah, pretty tricky standable that's invisible.
Yeah, this one's like it's kind of weird. With practice, it gets more consistent, and this is actually a much more optimal wall crawl. It sucks because the slower version of this wall crawl is really cool because it has you get thrown by a sandworm out of bounds. Oh, actually, oh cool, okay, that worked
Very
out.
nice.
Actually beat the load. Normally I would just go straight to Dark Samus and fight her, and then get Dark Beam, but for marathon safety, because that can crash if I just go directly to her, I'm gonna get Dark Beam first.
Woo! Hooray!
And yeah, so that wall crawl just skips like the entirety of the Pirate Lab / base segment.
It's a very long, going all the way around the back way to
Yeah.
get here.
But we're gonna fight Dark Samus now. This is Dark Samus 1. Fun fight casually. It's pretty fun here too, since we can just do this. Power bombs and she's just dead.
As it turns out, she's very weak to something you're not supposed to have yet.
Also, fun fact, in 100%, you have Annihilator Beam when you fight her, and she's like, I think 5 or 10 times weak to Annihilator damage, so
Just melts her.
just absolutely just annihilates her. That's a joke. I think you can do those during marathon runs. And then she's kind of mad that we kind of just, you know, did that, so
She's back.
has a bit of a temper tantrum, does a cutscene. Now it's our first foray into the Dark World.
The Dark World.
Getting light beam is actually there's nothing really that special outside of just doing some like inbounds movement to speed up or I guess to optimize our movement through rooms. I'm very good at explaining this. So we got time for I think Helix here to do some plugs or read donations or whatever you want to do. How are you doing, Helix?
No. Whoa, my voice did not want to work. Ooh. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I'm all right. I hope you're doing
okay.
good.
I laid the power bomb, Aaron Explosives. I know I forget to do that, but.
So we have a $25 donation here from Baja Blood who says,
"Hey,
if it's delivery, isn't it just Outburger?"
Oh my God, I'm gonna leave this stream right now.
And then we also have $5 from Rilabo who says Shack Attack, and $5 from Rilabo who says Shack Attack, and $5 from Rilabo who says Shack Attack. I don't know if Rill actually donated that 3 times, but it's in here 3 times, so you got 3 of them.
Amber, I have to focus really hard on this, okay?
Would you also
Shack distraction.
Would you also like some Shack facts?
I can do like 2.
Okay, well, there's a $35 donation here from a teacher who says, thank you for subscribing to Shaq Facts. Did you know that Shaq's free throw average has only been equal to or better than his overall field goal average in 2 of his 19 seasons in the NBA? That's a prime Shaq fact. If you'd like to unsubscribe from Shaq Facts, please donate at tinyurl.com/MSSF2022/
I fell down.
MSSF2022/donate. I think that is supposed to say. No, it's not. It's just tinyurl.com/MSSF2022 donate. I don't know my own links for my own marathon.
So fun fact with that 3rd scan terminal, I have to actually get close to it. Otherwise, it's like, oh, you're too far away. There's like interference. I'm gonna go for the roll jump. I shouldn't, but and I failed it. That's fine.
You gotta go for the swag strats though.
It's a little bit sketchy because the ink claws there will just do a lot of damage. Another slope jump here to gain enough height where I don't have to land on the other, or I don't have to, it skips up some of the platforming in that room. That's light beam.
Now that we get our 2 beams, I think we're gonna get out of dodge, right?
Something like that, yeah. Okay, I'm not good at this, but I'm gonna go for it. I like rolled off the ledge, but I didn't get the jump. That was all right, I guess. That is not a lot of health.
Not a whole lot, no.
I should get a refill here. I got the power bomb refill, which is nice.
Yeah.
Something that Echoes does better than Prime 1 is the item refill system. If you are low or out of something, besides health, because if you're out of health, you know, you're kind of dead. The way that the item refill system weighs like the chances of you getting an item is different. So you have about an 80% chance to get like a missile drop if you're out of missiles, and then same with power bombs. If you have 20% or less health, you're like, I think you have like a 75 or 80% chance to get an ultra energy drop, which refills a full E-tank.
Yeah.
So there are points of the run where it's like it's technically reliant on the random number generator, but it's the odds of like not getting a refill in a really crucial point in the run are extremely low.
Yeah.
So of course, this being a marathon run, that's going to happen.
Yeah, of course.
So now that I have light beam, in addition to having my spider ball at the start and getting a power bomb expansion, we have everything we need to open up this door here and go straight to Sanctuary Fortress. Actually, one of the best things about this game, I think, that is also an improvement to Prime 1, is that all the main areas are interconnected with each other. You don't have to like go through Magmore to go like anywhere, which is, I mean, Magmore is a kind of cool like hub area, but
dope music.
It's got some good music, yeah. And speaking of dope music, and this being us being at VGMCon,
yeah,
get your cat jams and rat jams and stuff ready. So Sank is the late game area of the game, and the fact that we're here in the first like 14 minutes is kind of a testament to this route. It's actually really, really important for any percent that we come here. There are 2 things primarily that we need. I don't know if I want to like spoil them or just whatnot, but one of them is just really broken, and the other one is needed for routing purposes.
The run's already been pretty fast up to this point, but this is where it like really picks up, and some of the hardest tricks in the run aren't. So.
Yeah. So there's an out of bounds coming up here. Spoiler alert. Sorry. Doors are great, and I'm just gonna actually be on this side. I'm not gonna repeat my mistake from yesterday. Whoop. I'm just get repositioned out of bounds like that. It's weird, and several doors can do that. This is done to skip a morph ball and like shooting puzzle that leads us to like a boost ball gate. I'm just gonna bypass both of those things.
Doors and walls are just a suggestion in this game.
And the spinner's like right here. That opens up the gate, and yeah, that was actually pretty well done. That saves about like I think 20 seconds. And then another huge sequence break coming up right in this room. Normally you need like echo visor and power bombs, and then you have to come in through the back way. But instead I can just boost jump through here to get to the other side of Sanctuary Fortress. And I'm going to do that trick again in this room coming up, Grand Abyss. Used to be a huge run killer for any percent. There's these robots that you'd have to jump onto and use them as platforms. But they only appear your first time going into the room, and they never come back. So if you failed going through this room, it was just run over. But instead, I'm going to morph here at this angle, nudge the morph ball slightly. That's going to decouple my facing angle with my boost to the right, so that I can move sideways, and then I also can instant unmorph and keep my boost ball speed, which leads to what's called a boost jump. And that gives me basically like a Prime 1 scan dash almost, and that lets me just completely cross the other side of the room. And now we're here in Vault. I'm going to do a scan dash here and fail it because this is Vault, and I'm BashPrime.
All my homies hate Vault.
I'm very surprised that Resbit didn't see me.
Right.
There we go. And that scan dash right there skips needing grapple beam and needing to go to Dark World to get onto this first platform. Although my movement's not very good right now. That's like the one platform I usually don't miss. Almost fell off again. Nice. I'm gonna kill this Resbit for safety.
Yeah, we don't like Resbits either. They're pretty rude.
They're like some of the worst enemies in the game. They have one attack that's extremely dangerous.
Yeah.
So I'm not messing around here. Nice power bomb that I don't need yet. And I'm gonna do an E-dash to try to get to the bridge. Of course I aggro the Resbit, so that's great. I think it despawns as soon as I get screw attack. Oh, yeah, spoiler. So screw attack's the first of the two things that we're here for. Screw attack is quite the item in Echoes.
Yeah. If you thought it was broken before, this is where it gets really fun.
Yeah. Yeah. If you weren't convinced that Echoes is broken from just the myriad of things we've done already, you're about to find out. Also, whee!
Yeah.
So it's all fun and games, right? But unfortunately, the hardest trick in the run is coming up. I am very bad at it, and it's probably gonna mean run over from like a single segment kind of perspective.
Yeah, there may be a few resets here, but very difficult trick. Also, he just used the camera being obscured by the wall to get an instant morph into that morph ball bomb slot to skip a huge puzzle in that room.
I'm gonna reload the room so the pirates aren't like completely aggroing me as soon as I enter.
Oh yeah.
Or I could just fall down too.
Yeah.
Down.
Down.
I did it, chat. Don't think that I'm not aware of you saying down probably whenever I make a mistake. So optimally you get the E-Tank. Oh my god. Stop bullying me.
It's a shack attack.
It's actually kind of a cool loading screen. For most, I don't feel so good. Can I still do that meme in 2022? Even though Infinity War came out like 4 years ago. Actually, that's insane. Okay, hard stuff right now. So I need to trigger these pirates. I don't need to, but they're just going to be triggered anyways. And then I wait for them to finish spawning in. That way, they're not shooting a projectile at me as soon as I get on this force field. Then I need to E-dash off this force field and get a good enough E-dash so I can go around this collision and screw attack. And hope I don't soft lock, which, okay, that's, it's not over yet. It's not over yet.
Not over yet, but that's the hard part.
That's prime, yeah, that's prime, like soft lock territory right there. Okay, so having enough health to like do this wall crawl is extremely important. So I'm very happy that worked out as fast or as well as it did.
Yeah, you have what, 24 seconds of leeway roughly?
Yeah, with 3 tanks, and Miguel does this with 2 tanks, and it's I don't know how he does it. The man is a machine. Okay. I just realized that was kind of an oxymoron.
Not if you've seen him play.
Yeah, so this is quad skip. This is specifically ATS quad skip. Okay, thank God. I thought it was too high up. Okay, that's the hard part. I can still fail this on the second half, but I was struggling so much with this in practice, like, especially just brushing up this morning. Like, oh my God. And I waited that cutscene to basically let the room load while I'm still in the cutscene. It's an in-game time optimization. This game is run for in-game time versus RTA. And so whenever you're not in direct control of Samus, the timer only goes up when you're in direct control of Samus. So during cutscenes, we can like abuse loading zones and stuff like that.
Also, screw attack is broken.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, like crevices and small morph ball tunnels are just a way to go out of bounds.
And there's only a lot of both of those things in this game.
Yeah. Okay, I got the good dash. Getting past that part is extremely important, and doing it fast enough. I want to. I don't know how I just did that. Okay, I didn't transition again. That's good. So we did this basically to do the ultimate heist of. This game's actually a heist movie. We're just kind of going in, doing a nice little yoink on the Ing Hive energy. What the heck is going on there? Okay, I got the transition. All right, that's good. I just need to get this one last jump, and we're in the clear.
Yeah.
I don't have a jump. This is not good. Oh my God, that could have been really bad.
Oh.
Dude, I can't believe I got that first try. You have no idea how hard that is. Dude, Dude, that was unreal.
Yeah, that was awesome.
I have 11 backup saves, and the first 6 of them are up until this point. Wow, dude. So now that we have the Sanctuary energy, we stole it from the, oh yeah, didn't really talk about the Ing. So, of course, this being a war of light versus dark, so we have the Luminoth, the light-based moth creatures that are the good guys. They're very, like, Chozo-like, I guess, in terms of the game's lore. Like, they've made contact with Chozo, they've shared technology and stuff together. I guess, in a way, they're, like, allies, or were in the past. And then the Ing are like these monstrous creatures that were born after a meteorite, or not a meteorite, Leviathan struck the planet. I'm probably way off on my backstory here. I was trying to kill this quad here.
If only we had enough time to scan all the lore.
Yeah, do you want to make this a 200% run?
Yeah, lore percent, let's go.
Kind of screwed up the dash, but I didn't fall down, which is good. It's the important part. Oh, okay, never mind, that's fine.
Down?
You know what, I'll take this if it means getting quad skip first try.
Yeah, I know, right? Everything else is gravy now.
So technically, I think this is PB pace. If nothing else goes wrong with this run, I may have to like wait out the 8 minutes, like during the intermission, and see. I'm not counting on it, but yeah, sorry, I'm just.
This is going very well so far.
I have no words. Like, I was expecting to be stuck there for like 20 minutes. Which is fine. That's like what the Espit's for, but.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, so yeah. So now we return the energy. I meant to scan the terminal first and overlap these cutscenes. But we meet actually this is actually really great because we're meeting the best character in the game, O'Lear. Oh, you're waiting.
Oh yeah.
So I need to scan this and get Cobalt Translator, but we get to hear the words of O'Lear, last sentinel of the Fortress Temple, may they serve us well, and I think they have.
Absolutely.
Oh, you committed more than I did. Wow. I just like did it for like 3 seconds. You were just.
I also don't have to grab a controller afterwards, so.
Oh yeah, true. So again, there's a little crevice here, which means we're gonna screw attack. It's free real estate.
It's free real estate.
I need to go out of bounds again to do to get what's called Cannonball coming up. I get to do a bunch of Aether jumps here. Again, these are 3-frame jumps, but they let me climb rooms while out of bounds. If I can actually do it. Okay.
Nice.
What the heck was that scan? I don't know why I just scanned, but okay. I need to open this gate. I need to open for later, so it's optimal that. Okay, I guess I can just fall down.
Yeah, right on top of it, though.
Yeah. Where am I at? Oh, this is strange. Hold on, let me double check, make sure I'm fine. Okay, we're good. So this room is Worker's Path. I need to activate this kinetic orb cannon, and then end up using it. The reason we're out of bounds is that I need to make the room think that I'm in the room next door. Sanctuary Temple. So first I need to actually be in Worker's Path, or transition to Worker's Path. This is not a good spot. I don't think. Where am I?
That's a good question.
Okay, that's good. I want to be around here. And then around this area. Should be good. Oh my god. Oh my. Tasks failed successfully. Alright, now the game thinks I'm in Sank Temple. I almost soft locked.
Yeah, screw attacking while out of bounds
It's really
generally
bad.
a very bad idea.
I don't know why the game let me. Alright, so now the game thinks I'm in Sank Temple, but I'm in Worker's Path, and when you do that and get fired out of a cannon,
Whee!
I just unload the room, and now I have. So you get the state called Cannonball whenever you're fired out of a kinetic orb cannon, but normally the game takes it away as soon as you, as soon as the morph ball like touches the ground. But because I unloaded the room, I'm able to unmorph, which you normally can't do while I'm in this Cannonball state, and that lets me keep it until either I die, I go in a cannon again, which I hopefully don't do, or I like quit the game and reset it. So it's a not like it's like a semi-permanent state, but it's only for like while the game's running.
No.
And then while we're out of bounds, I'll just go here and let the room load around me. And that is saying this is probably one of the hardest parts of the run. And I
Absolutely.
quad skip to just soft lock is just great.
A very clean sink.
There's still a couple points where I could potentially soft lock, but that was like the most marathon unsafe part of the run right there.
Yeah.
So Cannonball is an interesting property. We're not supposed to have it like in normal gameplay, but we do. So with Cannonball, if you don't have Boost Ball and have Cannonball, you're just able to boost. There are a couple of limitations with it that won't really be apparent for this run. Well, A, because we also have Boost Ball, but another big thing is that you are practically invincible while in Cannonball. That quad did not have a good time. I think you can only take damage from like terminal falls and stuff. And then also, as demonstrated here, Cannonball has a hitbox, and the most important part of this is that Cannonball has a hitbox, like a persistent hitbox tied to it, that does 500,000 damage per frame to any enemy that is weak to it, or that can take Cannonball damage that you contact.
Just most regular enemies, at least.
Yeah, it's meant for like war wasps that like are in the way.
These guys here, the pill bugs.
I'm not sure if they die to Cannonball or if it's just from the boost ball damage. So I cannot go in that cannon, but I can roll jump, which is nice. I'll try again.
Nice. Swag strats.
So you might be wondering why I'm going back to Aegon. I need to make my way to Torvis. So really where I'm trying to go to is Grey Temple, but the fastest and most direct way to Grey Temple is through Torvis. There's a new route, there's a new route that Miguel labbed out a few months ago that actually has us go to Lower Torvis from Sanctuary. You normally can't do that and go from Lower Torvis to Upper Torvis because there's like a barrier in the way. Also have to scan this again because of weird layer stuff. We've talked to Orange O'Lear. I don't know what his Orange Lear.
Or
I forget this guy's name.
Old Orange.
He seems alright. We get an Amber translator. You can delay this too. But yeah, so normally. Oh yeah, that's right. I can understand what you're saying now. Yeah. So previously you could only communicate to me through the use of Shaq memes.
Yeah, exactly.
Now we can actually talk to each other. I'm good. How are you? Hey. Also, yo, I saw you eating some of that. It looked good. I'm gonna have to get some later. Okay, yeah. So Sanctitorvis is now like in the route. There was a thing discovered with the BSJ timer and Screw Attack where you can use that to clip through the barrier from the other side, which makes Lower Torvis to Upper Torvis before fighting the Pirates of Torvis Temple possible for the first time like ever. Now that we've discovered it, so it is more like direct. Since I'm not good at that yet, I'm doing the classic where I'm going through Aegon instead. But I also want to get Amber because of a gate coming up. My God. And so the best way to get to Torvis is or for me at least, is to go through Aegon, collect Amber Translator, understand what Amber's talking about at Mid-Spring Speedflink 2022. And then I'm going to use Screw Attack because, again, Morph Ball Tunnels are just a vulnerability for Screw Attack.
So right here he's going out of bounds to skip this Seeker Lock.
Yeah.
You can do it inbounds by using Screw Attack. That's also kind of a huge pain.
Yeah, anytime you see me sort of floating in air and then falling down, that's because the room isn't even loaded. And then it loads and I'm just inside the room's collision and the bounding box. Oh, Miguel, I'm sorry, I skipped the cutscene. Apparently it's just RTA and in-game time saver if you just let the cutscene play out. Excuse me. Another Secret Lock here. If I was good with Screw Attack, I could unlock it with Screw Attack. And actually, in the optimal any % route, you actually skip Seeker missiles. I'll be getting them later because I'm BashPrime. Oh, that's not good.
Ooh.
Okay, that could have been really bad. Not really bad, but I lose time.
Yeah.
Not the cleanest, but that's fine. So I can skip that lock, and then I can trigger this pirate fight from out of bounds, which is great because I need to fight the pirates now. Oh, that's not good. Okay, he played nice. That pirate could be an absolute pain if you don't hit him while he's jumping down. Come on, baby. Dang it. Okay, that's fine. The flying pirates aren't too bad because they can just fly up into this wall and just get stuck there.
Yeah, so we use fighting that initial wave of pirates to get this cutscene repositioned into the room. Now we're back in bounds.
I got dark ammo even though I fired dark beam.
Yeah, that's wild.
Normally, you have to get so the way that the game gives you beam ammo is that, and that's something the game doesn't. Oh, this guy's still alive. Hello. So if I delayed Amber, I would also not get supers right away. There's on the second visit, when you go through Torvis Temple, you kind of just drop on top of super missiles and just the slightest bit faster, I think. But mainly delaying Amber Translator is what the time save is for.
Yeah.
I'm gonna attempt another boost jump here. I forget exactly where it's done. I think it's here. Okay, well, I'm not even gonna go for it. I was too far forward, so there was no camera to obscure, or there was no wall to obscure the camera if I was that far forward. Yeah, so Torvis is getting super missiles there is a neat enough little detour. It also opens up the path to Lower Torvis, which I need to go to once I come back. I'm gonna do a little optimization here, where I'm gonna Screw Attack into the into the cutscene when you first enter. It's like, oh, welcome to Torvis. We have free parking. And then while I do that while the room's loading, so the door will not close on me when after I like shoot it. Now we're on our way to Great Temple. I'm going to pick up Seeker Missiles first. So if I didn't have Amber Translator, I would go out of bounds in this room because there's an Amber Gate right here. And then we basically screw attack through this room that I'm in to this upcoming Super Missile door, bypass that, and land in the other room. I think the room like loads around us. So that way you're not soft locked. Oh, I need it. I don't have enough for supers. So again, just abusing the refill system so I can get a guaranteed drop, or a nearly guaranteed drop. I almost pulled up scan buyers too early. Remember that?
Always a good time when that happens. You end up shooting the super missile at the ground instead.
Yeah, so if you see that Amber Gate, do not let your eyes be fooled. That is not an Amber Gate, it's a Violet Gate.
Yeah, for whatever reason, they have it appear to be an Amber Gate, while it is definitely not. I assume to match the other one, you would never be here without Violet in the vanilla game, but...
Right, because you get it so early on. There's actually another gate in GFMC Compound that looks like it's an Emerald Gate, but it's actually a Violet Gate as well. It's fixed in, like, randomizer, but...
Or it cannot be fixed in randomizer.
Yeah. Or it'll show the correct, like, color.
Yeah.
So this is the same. This puzzle is the same. It's 1, 1, 3, 2. If we go clockwise, starting from the left.
Unless you're me playing randomizer and you have to figure it out every time.
All right, cool.
Now we have Seekers. Seeker Missers.
No, don't you do that to me. All right, so I'm gonna actually leave the way I came in, which is weird, but hey, look, it's a Morph Ball tunnel, and I have Screw Attack. Do the math. Or don't, you don't have to.
Hurts my brain.
Dude, I'm fighting a headache today, so I'm just trying my best. Apparently that's the key to consistency. I don't know. So I'm gonna do a little weird thing here. I'm actually approaching this door, and then I'm going back on the half pipe. That's to load in the elevator, because I'm going to Screw Attack to it from out of bounds. And as we've demonstrated, that can be really bad sometimes. So I need to do a bomb space jump here. This is the same thing where, so like normally like the Coyote time for Samus is 3 frames. For Morph Ball, for some reason, it's 22. And we can abuse this by getting an instant unmorph, which skips the 60 frame animation.
Also, having Cannonball right there is very nice so that you don't get pushed back by all those wasp shots.
Okay, we're good. Sometimes I think if you don't have the right angle, you just like bonk, but then just fall.
Yeah.
And then you have to reset.
Dow.
So that's like there's one more like kind of sketchy out of bounds. But that's the other run. And now we're at Great Temple. And if you come from this side, you normally can't do anything because that's there's like a light crystal on the other side that you have to shoot first. But remember doors and how you can sometimes just get repositioned? Whoop. Okay, I didn't get the transition, but there's a backup. Nice. So I actually do need to shoot this light crystal and get this block out of the way for later. And then I'm going to go into this room, and there's a cutscene trigger, and that puts me back in bounds. And we get to fight the Alpha Splinter, except not really. We can just jump.
Bye.
So I am sorry, we will not be collecting the energy transfer module this run. There's no validation happening. And now we get to visit our best friend, or our second best friend, Umos. Who in practice I just called O'Lear, because I guess they're all just O'Lear for some reason. So this cutscene gives us Violet Translator. So now we can read purple. And then I walk back into this cutscene trigger for Light Suit.
So the first time you come here, he tells you kind of through
what's happening. Yeah.
What he needs you to do. You know, you need to go to all these different areas and get the energy and return it
Dang or bad.
to give us power back, and then you walk back into the cutscene and go, oh, this energy right here? And then he gives you light suit.
It's like you could save Planet Aether. And then, so getting light suit is really convenient because it activates a fast travel system between all the energy controllers. So we're going to go straight back to Torvis. And now this is like where the second act of the run begins. There's one more item we need to collect, and there are things we need to do first in order to get it. Also, another detour that we'll have to do on our way for another requirement for endgame. So this is Avok, and we have to get an Emerald Translator from him. And I have to scan it twice because layers. Video games have layers to them. Yeah, rooms have a layer system in this game, and it's kind of odd. Because I already got, I think, Seeker Missiles, he's like, you must go get the, I don't know. The energy.
The stuff.
Oh, I think he told you to get Grapple.
Oh, yeah, he does, doesn't he?
Something like that, yeah.
Wait, are you saying rooms are like onions?
Oh, my God. I mean, this place is green.
It's true, and
Like-
this is
like
a very
our-
onion-shaped room, actually.
Oh, my God. And I'll scan this gate, open that up for later. And now we get to go into Super Metroid, the section, I guess. I don't know how to describe it. This is the first, of like the modern Metroid games that remixed Red Brinstar. So if you're wondering why it gets remixed so much, this was the first game to do it. You're welcome.
It's an absolute banger.
And there's a frame perfect trick coming up here that, let's see what happens. Okay, I didn't get it first try. I'm sad.
So, yeah.
Okay. That's
Second
fine.
try, we take those. So right there, he's morphing as he's going into the water to give him what we call air underwater, which allows you to screw attack underwater. You see that the vision is a little bit different. That doesn't affect your movement throughout the water, but does allow you to screw attack.
Yeah, air underwater is just basically setting the property where it thinks, oh, can you screw attack because you're not underwater? You're not underwater. Okay.
Second try again.
That's insane. Yeah, that's a frame perfect trick. This is a 60 frames per second game, so I have a roughly 16 millisecond window, I think. And that's great because this lets me scan these terminals without having to go through like all the way around the hydrodynamo station, which is like, it's a cool section, but it can be lengthy.
Once again, skip long puzzle by doing trick.
Oh, I actually got the morph ball. That was a frame perfect morph.
Ooh, yeah.
I didn't hear the sound effect, but probably came through on the stream. Okay, I didn't morph there. Forgot to. So it seems weird that we're getting gravity boost, but we need it to... It's just the fastest way for us to reach this section of Lower Torvis. And there's two things down here that we need. One is like the more direct like dependency. It's the Dark Torvis key for the temple. Spoiler alert for Chica. And the other thing is, surprisingly enough, Power Bomb Guardian. We'll get to Power Bomb Guardian later. And then there's hopefully another cool trick that I can pull off here with Air Underwater again. And that's going to be both a time saver and just really cool.
Yeah, so the same frame perfect trick that he did in the previous room, he's going to be doing here through this door vertically. It's quite a bit
Did I
trickier
get that?
to time.
Yeah. Yeah, so like as soon as Samus transitions into Morph Ball, the frame that happens is when Air Underwater happens. If I don't get this, I'll probably just skip it. There's another, like the alternate thing is still kind of cool, but yeah, I lost my positioning and angle, so. Oh my God, let's go.
Nice.
So that lets me screw attack, and hey, there's Alpha Blog.
This guy's actually a jerk and terrible to fight.
Dang it. I'm actually terrible at doing this. He stayed in place. Charged.
At least he's not constantly evading you like practice.
Yeah, something I didn't really notice is that you get ammo from this fight, so it's pretty convenient. But I mainly need to do this to get access to this portal. And coming from this portal, if I got it first try, would save about 15 seconds. The alternate strat is I would I would BSJ out onto the so that I could get enough height to reach the platform and just jump my way out to the top of the room the way I came in, and you skip the fight. So unfortunately, not a passive run, not a passive alpha blog run. For those of you that care about that, that's fine. We're gonna go fight PB Guardian because I have Cannonball. This is more or less an auto scroller with our dear friend Flogra's emo phase.
It's not a phase.
You can't tell me what to do, Dad.
Never leaving Dark Turtles.
Yeah, I'm just trying to hit these bomb slots fast. So if we have time for donation reading or anything of the sort, feel free to chime in, Helix.
I have so many.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, it was a lot to go over.
And people have been really popping off with these donations. There are a few that are particularly relevant, so I'll knock those out first.
Yeah,
There is
sure thing.
$5 here from the Ginger Chris.
Hey.
Team Orange desires a gondola ride. $34 from non-binary code. I couldn't think of a gondola pun in time. Anyway, trans rights.
Hey, trans rights.
And $10 from Heavy with Shadows. Hey Bash, very happy to catch you live at MSSF. May your butter be slippery, and may Shaq lead you to DS4 with a little shake and a little tingle. Let's see the auto scroller.
God.
And
Yeah, so there's a
let
donation
me
incentive.
refresh really quick. I believe we just met that incentive.
Hey, let's go!
Let me double check. Let me double check and make sure. Of course, I closed the tab I had open with it.
Y'all are so awesome. Okay, Powerbomb Guard did not throw a powerbomb into the door, so I'm sad.
Yeah, he sometimes does random acts of chivalry and throws.
This is the other thing we came in here for too. This key.
Yeah. Throws the power bomb up enough to break that door seal. But
I still can't believe it didn't soft lock in Workers Path.
yeah.
There's still, it's not, it's, there's still, it can still have, something can still go wrong, so. Later in the run though.
I can confirm we did, in fact, meet the incentive.
Let's go!
Awesome.
These hidlings, not to be confused with the hit video game Virtual Hide for the, was it the TurboGrafx 16? I forget.
How could we forget?
Yeah, the frame rate's much better. They're a great source of ammunition, and so just taking a bit of time to refill my power bombs, beam ammunition.
Also, firing a charged annihilator shot into those is so satisfying.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, so real quick, the reason I got main power bombs, so yeah, technically speaking, there really isn't a reason, but for whatever reason, Retro Studios put in a check for an upcoming item I need called Sky Temple Key back in Aegon Wastes, and if I don't have main power bombs, that Sky Temple Key will just not be spawned. So I have to kill Powerbomb Guardian. But since I need to get that Chica key anyways, it works out. So now we're back in Upper Torvis. At this point, I'm mainly just trying to make my way to, I have to say making my way downtown. This is a music-themed
You are
marathon.
moving, and you are moving fast.
But yeah, since I'm just collecting Dark Torvis keys here, not really much else going on. Got time for a few more plugs, donations, etc. You've been patiently waiting, so I might as well give you the opportunity.
I sure have. There's more to go through. $10 from Umandude who says, I'm BashPrime.
What's up?
$5 from the Ginger Chris. When is our scheduled BK time? I'm getting hungry.
Maybe the gondola ride.
And non-binary code sends in $69. Tack-a-shack. Wait, did I do that right? And speaking of shack attacks, $8 from Rill who says, slightly more powerful shack attack. And then Rill also donated $6 saying, hee hoo. Stop me anytime, by the way. $5 from Amber. Request that Bash say the word bonkers in the cheesiest British accent he can manage.
This is quite... Hold on. I have to actually bonk against a wall. My goodness, this is quite bonkers. I can't do it, I'm sorry.
You gave it a try, and I appreciate that. $27 from non-binary code. Parker, give me pictures of that menace shack.
Yo,
And
I'm down for J. Jonah Jameson memes.
finally, $20 from Possum Morpheus. Always excited to support one of my favorite gamers out there, Moonblaze Wolf. Awoo! Pizza party! And that is
Okay,
referencing a run coming up. There are a couple bid wars open for that run as well.
Actually, that was intentional. Allows me to hold B to charge, release to boost.
RNG manipulation.
Yeah. Also, Boost Guardian's here. There's a cutscene I skipped where he taunts us. Or it taunts us.
Oh.
But I have Boost Ball ready, so
Yeah, we don't
who's
need
laughing now? I got one more key to get. Not a ton going on. If you have anything else to plug, I've got like time for another, I don't know, 2 more maybe.
Can do. I think now is a great time to tell you all a little bit about Save the Music, the organization we are raising money for with this event. They are a nonprofit charity, and their mission is to help students, schools, and communities reach their full potential through the power of making music. As one of the leading foundations in the United States, they support their partner communities by donating instruments and musical technology, providing support services for teachers, and advocating for music education. To learn more, you can visit savethemusic.org. Should I keep going?
Maybe one more?
I will also really
One more
quickly
short one.
shout out VGMCon. That is our host convention. Every April, VGMCon hosts a celebration of video games and music, including live performances, open jam spaces, panels, open gaming, indie developer showcases, and more. So we would like to thank them for their support and generosity in helping us put on our event. And if you want to learn more, you can visit vgmcon.org.
I was a little on light ammo there, so I'm just going to fix them up here.
Yeah. Very ammo-intensive fight, the Bookball is.
Yeah, Chica is a very interesting boss. So we need Dark Visor for the end game. It's like one of the few like absolutely hard required items in the game. So we do fight Chica. So this is Chica Larva. It's a 2-phase fight. I'm gonna start by scanning it a little bit, and then I'm gonna finish up my scan. That's gonna let me get a lock on its belly for later. Hopefully I'm getting a dive. That's excellent. That's really good. Now it's going to do this dive animation and let me fire a super missile at it. And that lock-on I would not have if I didn't fully scan it. So, really good so far. Chica's kind of random in this part of the phase where it's swimming. It can do these like cycles where it comes out of the water, and it can do it between like I think 2 and 6 times. Not a ton of variance between. There's a little bit of time loss if you get like a 6 like phase versus just like getting the quick dive. But the fight is more or less consistent. The only bad thing is if it like does it 4 times, but that's pretty rare. And I interlace Dark Beam shots for DPS along with missiles. Missiles do twice as much damage as like my beams here, so hitting its belly with missiles is absolutely paramount. And I've actually got really good damage here. This is a really, really good Chica Larva fight.
Very clean.
I don't really have to worry too much about ammo. Oh, okay. Same thing here. These shredders are annoying. Almost got it out the phase like just before it dove in. So that's Chica Larva. My ammo count now is a little bit low, and I should have actually been a little bit more conscious of that, because Adult is really, really annoying. Where you at? There you go. Oh, yeah, we just killed it.
Oh.
No problem. And this right here is why we get Cannonball. It just insta-kills Chica Adult. And now we have Dark Visor, and now we are in the cleanup endgame section. This section is going to be pretty chill. Not going to be well, there'll be a few things to talk about as I'm getting the keys here in like Torvis and like in Sanctuary in particular. But this is like the moment where if you want to get your donations read, this is probably the time. Real quick though, I am going to go ahead and collect the Torvis energy. It's a little bit odd, but I have to do this in order to reload the, just kidding, I'm not going to collect it. You don't actually have to collect Torvis energy at all. It's like, it's just a story thing. And then you also, it also changes the layer of like meeting grounds, I think, where you get Pirate Commandos. I don't know if they lock the doors, but we don't like that because Dark Pirate Commandos are very annoying.
No. As
ATS quad skip would have otherwise proven had I gotten bullied there. So it was very nice to meet today. So now that I have Light Suit and Dark Visor, I am now able to start collecting every... I now have all the upgrades I need to finish the game. I just have to go collect the 9 Sky Temple keys that lock the final level of the game, the Sky Temple. It's a little bit different from like Super Metroid or other 2D Metroid games where you have to kill like the major bosses to open up like, you know, Torian. In all the Prime games, they're generally locked by a number of keys. In Prime 1, it's Chozo artifacts. There's 12 of them. They were kind of weird. Like even though there were a bunch of them in Prime 1, there were some like absolutely early game ones you could collect. Whereas in Prime 2, while there are less to collect than in Prime 1, you could only start collecting them after you fight Chico, which is like about halfway through the game. It's pretty annoying.
And they require quite a few items.
Yeah, like half the SDKs alone require light suit. So even if you like wanted to get ahead on your collection, you would still have to get light suit eventually and get like another 4 of them.
No.
Convenient missile expansion here. Now this place is kind of a dead end, or so you might think. Easiest out of bounds of the whole game. There's a hole in the wall right here. And we just go through it. I was trying to not fall down here, but that's fine.
Once again, doors and walls are a suggestion.
And then right here, I'm going to go to the right and hit a load trigger. I hope I hit it. I think I did.
Should really have somebody come in and patch up that drywall there, you know?
Yeah. Pretty shoddy contractor work, if I were to say so myself.
Always try to come in under budget.
So when moving out of bounds, there are 2 ways you can open doors, load the next room. One is by hitting these like arbitrary load triggers that are placed in like the middle of rooms that'll be like, hey, if you touch me, I'll load the next room. The other one, and probably the more common one, is proximity loads, where you actually just stand next to the door, and it'll just load the room. That's something more specific to Prime 2 than like Prime 1. Or actually, Prime 1 doesn't even have proximity loads, I don't think. Someone might need to correct me on that. So we're going to do one more detour here in Lower Torvis. There's an SDK here that I need to collect. And another cool skip coming up if I can pull it off. It's not a huge time saver, but it's neat. Kind of serves with like the whole like this category feels like a heist movie sometimes. Just the number of barriers that we just completely bypass in like really cool and sometimes obnoxious ways.
Breaking into so many places.
Yeah. Okay, thank God. Yeah, we can just squeeze through the bars like that. Shouts to Aaron Explosives for that setup. So we're just going to go ahead and click the SDK. Not much else happening. And then we're just going to head out Torvis and go to Aegon. So, Helix, if you have anything else to plug or chime in about, now's the time. How are you doing, by the way?
I'm all right. It's getting a bit warm in here.
Yeah.
But I mean that'll happen with people and like computers and stuff.
I'm trying too hard. That's the.
You're going too fast. You gotta
Yeah.
slow down. We're gonna make you slow down. The incentive on that.
I know. Oh yeah, that's gonna kill my PB attempt for sure if I don't
Yep.
fall down and sink.
There is $13 here from non-binary code who says another dono to make up for writing Amber's name wrong.
That's great.
Keep going. I can.
Oh
keep
yeah,
going.
yeah. I'm just
All right,
I'm
cool.
just going out. I'm going out. Oh yeah, right here actually, real quick.
Wonderful.
I can just jump
feel
like that
fine.
and get out of the bars. So I'm not in Lower Torvis jail. Is there like a defined jail in like Echoes? I feel like that's something we talked about like a long time ago and I've forgotten. I mean, there's other like concepts we can go over later. We have plenty of time to go over the implications of like how Dark Aether is a McDonald's.
Yes, the fast food implications of.
That's kind of more.
Aether
We
in
can save that
general.
for Sank since
Yeah.
that's primarily a Sank thing. But
Yeah.
there's some Torvis. There's some relevant stuff in Torvis too. We're in that.
Yeah.
All right, I will say, if you are enjoying the marathon so far, please consider following Midwest Speedfest. We are a Minnesota-based organization that has been hosting speedrun marathons since 2015. And in the late summer and early spring, we partner with 2DCon and VGMCon respectively, the latter of which we are at right now, to help raise money for their chosen charities and bring even more entertainment to their conventions. We also host online events occasionally, too. So far, we've raised over $50,000 for various causes, and we hope to see that number continue to grow exponentially with your support. I'm excited to see what that number is at after this event.
Real quick, I forgot there's a trick coming up right here. Also, secret missiles sometimes don't actually seek. Okay, I got that first try. Let's go.
Yeah, I'll take responsibility for speaking now into existence earlier.
I got the recovery though. It was like luckily
Yeah.
like the lock was right there and I actually hit it.
Yeah.
It's like I think a second and a half for the locks to like respawn, so it's pretty annoying when they miss. That door is kind of notorious. So it's kind of weird that I'm going through this portal. I get a nice like free missile expansion here, but I'm just gonna hang out here for just a second. Oh, what's that? Come on, baby, get the frame one. Oh, dang it.
So for some reason, this cutscene is just absolutely massive, the trigger for it, and it'll even get you into the next room, which you are certainly not supposed to be in the vanilla game.
So this is definitely our first time in Dark Aether. It tells us about how its atmosphere is dangerous. We didn't even talk about how dangerous the atmosphere is. With Various Suit, when I was doing that wall crawl, I was taking 6 damage per second. With Light Suit, no, not so much anymore, but, you know, they have these safe zones we can fire. These beacons, sometimes if we energize them, they don't last forever.
It's true.
You know, Retro actually did a great job, like, kind of introducing you to the Dark World concept in this game. Since we broke the game so much, though, doesn't get to tell us about it until way later.
Thanks for telling us now, game.
Yeah, really inconsiderate.
Did you know that the scan visor is also useful in gathering information?
I did. Also, hi, Jump Guardian. I jumped off Jump Guardian.
So the boss in this room, that's his hitbox right there. You can actually damage the hitbox as well while he's invisible before you load him. Get him all the way down to basically 1 health.
I'll give you one guess as to what Jump Guardian blocks. SDK up here. So the reason Dark Visor is required is that even though they're invisible and they're always in the same spot, you actually can't hit them unless you have Dark Visor active. Of course, if you hit them while in Dark Visor, then they'll appear in Combat Visor, and then you can shoot them. But if it weren't for that, then we wouldn't do Dark Visor at all.
No.
All right, then the second SDK and Aegon coming up. This one is why we kill PB Guardian. Oh, dang it. I'm BashPrime.
Yeah, so this in cache does not even exist if you don't kill Power Bomb Guardian. There's no known way around this.
This is one of the light suit locked ones. So if you don't have light suit, you just stand on top of the water, and you won't be able to actually like dive in until you get light suit, which is probably fine because the dark water's poisonous or corrosive or something.
Yeah.
Also, shouts to Miguel for doing this in his run. I learned about it. Just do that. I would just like jump or screw attack across, and it was slow. But why not do that when you can just dash off an Inglet? So that's it for the Aegon cleanup. And also, unfortunately, even though Torvis has some really fantastic music, when we left Torvis a few minutes ago, that was our last time in there. We have finished cleaning up Torvis. We're done with Aegon, but we'll be going back to Sanctuary in just a moment here with its pretty awesome music. Well, if I can actually get that bomb jump.
Some people criticize the Sank soundtrack. I like it.
Really? I think it's awesome.
Yeah.
I feel like if anything, people criticize like the Aegon music, which is like, it's cool, but it's like, it's not really melodic or anything. Whereas Sank is, it's a bop, you know?
I agree.
So cleanup as Sank is definitely the most technical. Not for, I meant to stay locked on. This key coming up sucks, but only, not for anything like hard or anything, it's out of the way. It's kind of weird, this like front section of like Ink Hive is like kind of unused. There's like an ammo station and a save station there. Really the only thing of interest is the Sky Temple key. Granted, it is kind of eerie and barren and all that, so adds to the atmosphere in a sense. And plus, like, when you're playing casually for the first time, you don't know where you're going necessarily, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just making my way to the key, so if you have time for a donation or two, feel free. I feel bad. Helix is, like, working hard. I'm just, like...
Hey,
like,
my primary job right now is donation reader. And with that, we have $11 from Dakota, who says, I'm BashPrime.
Hey, what's up, Dakota? I am BashPrime. For better and for worse.
For butter and for worse.
I'm so sorry for... If anyone had headphones on there, I apologize. Never... No. It's not funny. Wow, and see, look what you
I'll
did.
never be on this
You
couch
made me
again.
miss the... Yeah. Hello? Nice lock-on game. I held down L too much. That wasn't even the game being weird. That was just me sucking.
You were too distracted by the great joke.
Buttery smooth.
You have a very good emote that people are posting in chat now. I approve of this.
Is it the stick of butter?
It's
I'm
it's
Bash.
bash it's
Oh!
bash PR
I'm
done.
bad. Oh, done. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's one of my favorite emotes. Oh, that's weird. I didn't realize like the dark cloud covering that beacon goes away.
Yeah.
Also, shouts to Aaron Explosives, Ink Smasher. Let's go. This guy
Yo.
means business.
Best enemy in the game.
All right, so this SDK coming up. We're not quite there yet, but this is the last SDK before we do the final cleanup in Temple Grounds, which is more or less like pretty chill. But this is like, for me, I guess, the final boss of this route. There's our 2 wall crawls. The first one's not too bad, unless I really screw up, which I did in practice run. But it's getting out after that. That's the hard part. I can use some missiles, actually. Or I guess one, that's fine. Alright, so remember that thing I did early in Sank the first time around? I'm going to do it again, but here. Again, same collision. Oh! That is not good. Okay, this isn't bad. This is salvageable. Sometimes I think I tried unmorphing too early or something. Or I held back when I shouldn't have, so I just either jump up. So not the worst thing in the world.
Yeah, wall crawling in Sanctuary Fortress is like particularly bad sometimes because the bounding boxes for these rooms are just absolutely massive.
Yeah, so there's this gate blocking the other side of this room, this platform right here. There's a flying ink cache right there that I'm trying to get to. If I jump on this platform and then get the terminal fall, it repositions me on the other side of the fence. And that lets me just get direct access. It skips Spider Guardian. You normally would have to fight Spider Guardian, which is a great boss.
Love it.
No sarcasm at all. And then you would be able to get access to this room. But actually, I think at that point you would be able to do it. I think you would be able to get this SDK like as soon as you beat Spider Guardian. But it saves a bunch of time. Spider Guardian's a very slow fight. We already have Spider Ball, so we don't need to fight it. But since this is kind of a dead end here, we're gonna go out of bounds with this convenient morph tunnel. And this wall crawl is not necessarily a marathon unsafe. It's just it loses a bunch of time if I miss it, or if I miss the screw attack coming up. Okay, that's good. That part can be really bad sometimes. Also, zoom.
Press X to zoom.
If you didn't think this game had zoomer representation, it does. You're welcome. Oh, that was bad. Okay. So if I get this angle in this position, I have to like line my reticle up with this this guy. It's a little too far to the left. Playing it super safe here. So I'm gonna screw attack past this this door in this loading zone. And I got it. Let's go, dude.
Very nice.
Yeah, shouts to Miguel for coming up with that setup. But I missed the roll jump, so it runs over. So if I fell down,
Second try, sweat.
it's actually not the worst thing in the world because there's surprisingly, like, at the bottom of, like, the bounding box, there's like just standable collision for some reason out of bounds, which is like more of an exception rather than the rule.
Yeah.
So if you like miss a screw attack out of bounds, normally you're just soft locked. So the fact that this run is single segment still is mind blowing. This run is so unsafe.
Yeah.
And again, delaying this cutscene here specifically for this room for in-game time saver. I think I don't know if I did it the other 2 times. This is insane.
Oh, we could talk to Olier again.
Yeah, and then conveniently enough, so doing that wall crawl gets me back into Sank Temple, and then I can just take the energy controller back to Great Temple. There's a safer alternative that's a little bit slower, is that you go back into the Aegon elevator and then go to Aegon Temple, and then warp here from Aegon. Hi, Olier, or Umos. Yeah, that's totally Umos.
It's
Not
Tumos.
Olier. Yeah. Dude, this game's randomizer is like my bread and butter, and I can't believe I just said that, because now everyone's gonna say butter in the chat. But Echo's rando is honestly like the coolest thing, and also here's where I need Violet, Emerald, and Amber for the end game. Like honestly, I love the randomizer community. Prime and Echo's rando in particular, it's so much fun.
Yeah. Awesome community, awesome games.
Would you say sometimes done quick?
Sometimes.
Gotcha.
Not when I do it.
So this first SDK in Temple Grounds is locked by a secret door. If I were to skip Seekers, I believe this is considered the final boss of the route for like Miguel. Or that's what he calls it at least, but... Also, because I haven't gone to GFMC, there's no splinters here that spawn, so these dark ink clouds come for me instead, and I take a nice bit of damage for them. They played nice this time around, though. Yeah, so I'm just going to open up the secret door and then screw attack into the flying ink cache. You know, it's tried and true strat. Not much else going on, so if you want to chime in, Helix, now's the time.
I was just about to ask if you're queuing me in. All right, let's see. What can I read here that I haven't read yet? You all should give me some donations to read. That's what I think. But let's talk a little bit more about Save the Music, the charity we are raising funds for. What they do is they partner with public school districts in communities across the United States that show an immediate need for support and resources to jumpstart or enhance their music education programs. These school districts often serve Title I schools, which have a high percentage of students qualifying for free and reduced lunch, and they own limited instrument inventory and materials prior to Save the Music's partnership. Their partner districts are committed to investing in and building in-school music education programs for the benefit of student achievement and access to a well-rounded education. I can keep going too, if you want.
Also, I never mentioned roll shots. If you've noticed, I've been like, I'll just demonstrate it here. So I can unmorph and fire a beam as I unmorph. That's a frame perfect trick. That's it's nothing too technical. I hit X and A at the same time on the same frame. It's like item dashing, I think, in Link of the Past. I forget what the trick is called, but like with Pegasus boots, and you can like have the hammer out and quickly do like the pegs for out in front of the wherever that house is there next to the Thieves Town, yeah. And then real quick, so the reason I'm going back and forth between Great Temple and Temple Grounds is that for in-game time, it's more optimal to do that way. If this were RTA optimized, I would stay at Temple Grounds and go from Temple Assembly site to the GFMC ship room for our upcoming reliquired item. It's not really funny. When no one gets it, like... Oh, I'm the bonk. Bonkers.
Bonk.
Down?
Down. Yeah, so this is another favorite way out of the way, very high item requirement location.
Yeah. Seeker missiles, light suit, dark visor, seeker missiles, I think seeker missiles.
Yeah. Hopefully they don't miss.
And then randomizer also your patience and sanity. Also,
Yes.
fun fact, there are in fact Metroids in this game. You're thinking like, oh, well, where are the Metroids? Like, this is called Metroid, right? Undeniable proof that they're here. Thor's been pretty nice to me today. That's outside of that Torvus one.
That one's notorious, though.
Notorious?
Oh my god.
I'm sorry.
You could do better.
So I don't know if this is based on speed, but there's a chance that there's a warrior ing named George that's going to show up and block the way. So we'll see if we get blessed by George in the run. And then after George, we can read a few more donations or plug Save the Music. There he is! We got blessed by George, and we passed right through the legs. Let's go.
George the homie letting us by after saying hi.
Yeah. George is an absolute unit, okay? He can just block the way, keep me just stuck in place for a bit. But, you know, it's fine. He just wanted to say hi. He was very polite today. It's all good.
Yeah.
And that's actually kind of it for our Sky Temple key collection. There's one more that we have to get. I am very low on light ammo. Kind of want more. That is acceptable. I don't need a ton, but
Yeah.
just in case things go south. But yeah, so the last SDK is just next to the Sky Temple Gateway, which is where we return the keys.
Very convenient.
No, that's not. That's
Did you mention it was time for me to chime in again?
no, not anymore. You're too late.
Okay,
I'm
cool.
kidding. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. Non-binary code donates $13. I wish Helix had more donations to read. And your wish has been granted because RXM027 has donated
Hey.
$1, who says, I don't have anything witty to say, so I just wanted to say hi.
Hey,
Happy to
RXM.
support a good
Hi.
cause. Hello, thank you for the donation.
Shouts to RXM. RXM's giving me some good viewer submitted like rando seeds. I actually have a corruption seed I need to play of theirs. So yeah, there is a corruption randomizer. It's in a weird state right now. It actually it has some ups and downs for me where I still prefer like Echo's randomizer and sometimes Prime, but
Yeah.
corruption rando does have its moments and they're a lot of fun. All right, so this is the very obviously Violet Gate. That way I went out of bounds to skip. Oh, also, best scan in the game right here. You don't want to miss this, chat, viewers, in person alike. Shoutouts to the Age of Anxiety.
It's too real, man.
That did not have some good boost at all. I kind of missed that from the rando scans. That would always crack me up.
Yeah.
And then they got changed to the room names. All right, so this is the point where I would cut off the incentive, but I think Gondola was met, right? So,
It absolutely was.
my friends, it is time to ride the gondola
Let's go.
of hopes and dreams. So there is like a ski lift slash gondola slash thing here that we need to open up. Normally, this is what you would need to do to access Torvus for the first time casually, but it is very often just skipped and runs. There are very few instances in Randomizer where it could be required. If you don't have, like, I think Space Jump and I think Screw Attack or something like that.
Yeah. We do love a required gondola.
So I've had, I think, one seed. Oh, no. I think shoutouts to Drakenif, who had a seed where he had to do this. He gets to go on the ride. So we have to, so for, I guess for safety purposes, we have to open up the arms that lock the ride to, like, the geology here. And that's going to activate the lift as so. And here we go, everybody.
All right.
The best autoscroller of all time.
Keep your arms and legs inside the vehicle at all times, please.
Remain seated, please.
Make sure to secure all your valuables.
Permanent sentados, por favor.
You hate to drop your screw attack.
We're on our way to the
or
Matterhorn,
beam.
folks. No, actually, this is Space Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh, yeah.
Something like that. Everybody, you all made this possible. Thank you so much. Absolutely blessed ride. We did not get the ETM, but we did get the gondola ride. I think that more than makes up for...
More than valid.
Yeah, the other lack of validation. I don't have the right beam, so I get to lose some time here. I just suck at boosting sometimes. Alright, so we have one more set of doors here. We have a super door right here, and then a secret door coming up that will play nicely. I demand it plays nice to me.
It must.
But first, I need to go get the Sky Temple key, and I did not get the roll jump, so I'm sad. I don't think that was really faster, but whatever. Okay, I did get all of them. Let's go. I was like, I can't wait to find out that I missed a key somewhere.
That's always a good feeling when you don't get that prompt.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Especially in rando, it's like, oh, what?
Yeah.
All right. Cross our fingers. Okay, good. Sometimes this door is usually not too bad, but sometimes it just trolls. It's like the XCOM, like 5% chance that your missile will just not hit. So of course the 5% turns into like a 80% chance.
Yeah.
If we all know probability and statistics, I guess. And there we go. All 9 keys returned. We can now go to Sky Temple. We just have final bosses left. We have Emperor Ing, and we have a surprise visit from Dark Samus once again. I don't think she's going to be very happy that we... oh, yeah.
Gosh.
Dark Samus will get her revenge most likely here, but we'll see what happens. I'm just gonna go for it. I have a backup save in case, in the unlikely event that I crash Bandicoot for the PlayStation.
Which one?
All of them, actually.
Yeah. I just wasn't sure if you had like a particular favorite.
Oh. I've never actually played Crash. I played a little bit of Crash Bash with a friend a long time ago.
There you go.
All right, so Emperor Ing 1. I need to shoot these tentacles, and they're hard to hit sometimes. And very bad. Okay, nice. And now for 80%, I have to shoot super missiles at this eye. Oh, that hit. Nice. Play this safe.
Yeah, it's a fine line of actually being able to hit it and
Nice.
not getting hit by the laser.
Yeah, doing that once. Oh, I got the 1 frame. Let's go. Just slide along the ground. Emperor Ing 2 is a nice breather. It's like the place to get refills. And because I have Cannonball, this basically turns into an auto-scroller.
Yeah.
These ingots can be really, really annoying because they spawn randomly. I want to get the missiles. I need them for Dark Samus. I'm probably going to miss these two. Yeah, that's fine. Worth getting the missiles for, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so ingots can just spawn on top of you and just knock you off this this orb, this sphere. I know I did. Sorry. But with Cannonball, it's just really trivial. I really want that missile.
And this is fun. For some reason, they
phase 3.
had hitboxes behind the knees of Emperor Ing 3.
I'm gonna get this missile now.
And did not remove them before the game shipped, so...
Okay, I was too high. He played nicely too, but I wanted that missile.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah, this is a pretty cool boss, like final boss fight casually, but screw attack's so broken. Go out of bounds with. Really good way to quick kill a bunch of bosses. Including Dark Samus coming up if she plays nicely, but we'll see what happens. Also, my execution has to be on point, but we are coming up on time pretty soon. So everybody, please bless this run because I might get centered. But it also might be my fault that I get centered. So we'll see what happens. We will know who to blame in just a second here. So Dark Samus gets in the way. Also, there's an escape sequence. We got the NES Metroid music. It's pretty sick. I'll do 3 to be safe. She's going to stand here and then float in the air and fire a gigantic laser at me. And this is random. She can either do it 2 or 3 times. So 2 would be faster. 3 loses just a few seconds, I think. And
Yeah, thankfully she's quick about it.
yeah, so we got the 3. Now, here's where I need a screw attack. That looks good. Okay, that's not good, actually. I'm going to play it safe and let her do her thing again. I completely missed her. I think I might have been too far to the right. So because I haven't damaged her yet, she's still in Dark Samus 3 phase. So she's going to do this again. I want to have an opportunity to do the skip, so I'm just going to let her do this again.
Yeah, the screw attack landing is tricky. You really want to land like beside her.
Yeah.
Landing on top of her, you just end up boxing.
There we go. That was really good.
Yeah, that was definitely good. Oh, that was almost the
Oh,
whole
come
thing.
on!
Oh, hit her.
Oh, she's almost dead, though. I did so much damage to her. Holy, I've never seen that before.
I don't think I have either.
I'll take it. Because, like, so normally I would just screw attack her until she's dead and it would completely skip this phase, but time.
I don't think I've ever seen one screw attack take that much damage.
Yo, that time's nuts. I can't believe. Being only like 5 minutes off PB is insane.
With the auto scroller.
Yeah, with the auto scroller, like that added like I think 2-3 minutes. So.
And you were nervous about opening.
I was.
And
I
you
was
did
like,
so well.
I was like thinking like last night, like imagine if I like somehow get it first try, like
Right.
skip first try, and I did, and I wasn't even expecting it. Like the fact that this run finished single segment at all is just insane. Let alone like quad skip going as well as it did.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
I'm really happy with this run.
Yeah, so because you destroyed your estimate, if you want to do like a glitch exhibition
All right,
for 10 or 15 minutes, we're cool with that.
Absolutely. I don't think I PB'd with this, so I'm going to go ahead and soft reset my console. So with practice mod, I can show off a few things.
That would be hilarious if you PB with a gondola ride, though.
Yeah. Like, I definitely saved a few minutes, but I think the gondola ride took away that time save.
Yeah.
So, dang you donators going to a great cause. Can't believe you.
Can't believe you
Can't believe
donated.
you've done this. Yo, shouts to Nintendo Loader V6.496, in parentheses, Wii.
My favorite version.
Yeah, so here's the glitch showcase that you did not ask for. I'm gonna have to like think about what I can show off. There are a few neat things though. Maybe I'll crash the game or something. That'd be kind of neat. I guess I could show off like quick killing Dark Samus with Annihilator Beam.
Yeah.
So menu mod is actually shouts to Claris. Really good Echoes and just Prime Series speedrunner all around. A while back, I think she discovered that Retro Studios had a debug menu that was hidden away in the game code, and I think re-enabled it, and that basically became our practice mod. And it's really powerful. We get to control stuff like room layers and our inventory and stuff. So that in combination with like dolphin save states makes this game like really nice to practice, in my opinion. And actually, fun fact, this game had a practice mod before Prime 1 did. Prime 1's took a lot of effort. Shouts to Pootage and I believe Syncothetic for also helping with that, and I think the devs. I think without a bunch of like debug symbols and knowledge and stuff. Actually, fun fact, this is actually a 100% run now, so if you have like 3 hours of time estimate, we're just going to do that. No, I'm just kidding. All right, so I'm just going to give myself every item. And then give myself... I don't want to mess around too much here. And I'll make a save here just in case I crash. We'll see what happens. Actually, you know what? The first thing I'll show off is Chica. So this is something I discovered, or no, I didn't discover it, but like for myself, I discovered it a couple days ago when I was making my backup saves for this that we didn't even need to use. So let's go. So I'm gonna trigger the Chica fight. This one's less of a glitch, but I don't know, I just found it kind of fascinating. So, gonna knock Chica's Chrysalis thing off the door. And if you notice, the water level in this room during this fight is really high. Like, that door is not very high up. So you might think, like, hey, can you reach it? And with the bomb space jump, you can. Although my camera angle did not work with me there. I'll do a 3 VSJ instead. If I can actually pull it off. Chica's just going to do its thing.
It's over there chilling.
Those doors are still unlocked, you know. Chica's just doing its thing. I'm just gonna go in here. I'll reload the room like RTA. So when the room unloads, you see the health bar disappear. And then I'll reload the room, and you're not really supposed to do this. So now I'm just stuck. Chica will not respawn. And for whatever reason, this platform is like...
yeah. In the next layer of this room, that platform is much lower, isn't it?
Yeah, it's yeah. So when the Chica adult fight happens, I think the water level does drop a bit, and then it just goes away completely once the fight's over. We'll go to Aegon. All right, so I'll try to show off. Yeah, shouts to Annihilator Beam, which we didn't have at all in the run.
Right.
It's really great in like Hundo and like Randomizer.
We didn't even have the best item in the game, Sonic Boom, either.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. I could show that off, actually.
Yeah.
With Grapple Guardian.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, you saw all the damage she took. Oh, Uh-oh. I did a thing. Oops.
Yeah. Mini modding at different times causes some interesting effects sometimes.
Yeah, you're not really supposed to do it during cutscenes. I'm going to reset the room layer. I think it's just these two. War chest. That's, oh, that's actually something I could show off. It's not a glitch, but just a cool little detail. Okay, so I think I can fight Dark Samus again. Yeah, so, fun fact. So this is like the light world version of Dark Oasis. And you can see with Dark Visor the outline of like the flying ink cache. Oh, well, I just triggered the boss, so. Really? Couldn't do a chat. Whoops. I don't know why there's a layer called Gamer's Day. I just noticed that, yeah.
It's kind of a banger.
The song is a banger, yeah, it's really cool. The remix in Prime 3 is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm gonna actually like try to focus here. Hey, I did it.
Toast.
You can also kill her with Screw Attack. Actually, why not just show off Dark Samus 2? Go into the best room in the game. Oh, I wasn't supposed to warp to that room specifically. This is gonna probably do a layer change, but we'll see.
I don't think you can...
We'll see what happens.
Can you warp out of here? I don't think you can
maybe.
warp out of Eri.
Oh yeah, because it's yeah, this room takes up a lot of memory, so when it's in that kind of state, it'll give you some limited options. Yeah. So we can just go back to landing site instead. I'll go to checkpoint station instead. Yeah, Dark Samus 2 is an interesting fight in 100%. She's very random, but you can kill her with Screw Attack like you can. Okay, hopefully I didn't screw up the Eri or the fight in Eri. If need be, I'll die and reset the state of these rooms. I think we'll be okay, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Also, sometimes she likes to just straight up go into boost ball and be what?
Okay, well.
Well, that's cool. I actually didn't know you could do that.
All right. Where'd she go?
Yeah, we're staying on top of the room box here. That's fine. That's amazing. Okay, let me fix that. Actually, that's kind of worth it all on its own. Like, I mean, it's a kind of a cool boss, but she just does a bunch of random stuff.
Yeah.
What else? Oh yeah, Grapple Guardian. Just go to Sack Chamber? Yeah. I'll go here.
I say the end game cutscene is pretty funny if you get in and out of mini mod a bunch.
Yeah. Oh, I'm actually... Wait, this is, I think, under Temple Shaft. Yeah. Yeah, Grapple Guardian is great to skip at 80% because killing Grapple Guardian just changes a bunch of layers in Upper Torvus so that Dark Pirate Commandos spawn, and then they lock the doors. So in 100%, you used to like have to deal with like, I think 6 chances of them just like losing time, or just locking the doors, and then you have to kill them and you lose time.
Yeah.
Thankfully, that's been routed out. You can delay grapple now. All right, so normally when you shoot off its Grapple Guardian's tail, he's invulnerable during this like animation. But if I Sonic Boom instead, oh, I don't think it kills him. Oh, can it kill him like that?
I don't know.
Well,
I think it can.
I can try again if maybe. Here, I'll try again. I don't think this has to be loaded, but we'll see. I'll try again. I think I may have actually quick killed with Sonic Boom and Rando.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I could use Sunburst on too. And you might think like Sunburst casually is like a very slow charge combo, but it's really useful for Grapple Guardian. Also, Emperor Ring, funny enough.
Yeah.
Oh, dang it. Oh yeah, he does die. Nice. Yeah, so that's like the fastest way to kill him is with Sonic Boom. It's never fast enough in vanilla game to get before Grapple Guardian. Like, it's just so out of the way.
Yeah, it's in a horrible location.
Yeah. So by getting Grapple Beam, I'll warp to like Great Bridge. Fun fact, if you try to do that out of bounds that I did in Great Bridge, or going back into Great Bridge after I got that first Sky Temple key, you could sometimes just crash the game. Maybe I should do that actually. That'd be cool. Where's Portal Chamber? There it is.
Right there.
Even though it's in alphabetical order, I couldn't find it. I'm BashPrime. Oh yeah, I'm not actually. I'll have to screw attack in, but that's fine. So again, screw attack's definitely not broken.
Not at all.
They actually patched. So the reason that works, by the way, is that screw attack, functionally speaking, inherits a lot of the morph ball functionality in Echoes, including the size of the collision. So you're basically the size of a morph ball while screw attacking, which is why it works. They made your collision larger, I think, in Trilogy, so that doesn't work anymore that doesn't work in, I think, Wii versions of Echoes. Okay, so there's a small chance that I think this will crash because now that I've defeated yeah, so because Grapple Guardian's dead, these pirates just spawn and they lock the doors, and there's like there's I think 3 rooms that they do it in, and you go through those rooms like I think twice in an old like 100% route.
Interesting that you have both of these layers right now.
Yeah, so they have a 50% chance each to spawn, or sorry, there's a 50% chance that these pirates will spawn whenever you enter this room. So if you get like 6 out of 6 spawns, that's like really bad luck, and you lose like several minutes versus 0 spawns. But again, grapple delay, and then also just with the new route for Hundo, that's no longer really a concern. Okay, well I didn't crash the game that way. Real quick, I'm going to warp to GFMC compound. Let me know how I'm doing on time, by the way, because I know I'm... Okay, that works. Okay, so... I can't really show off anything here. Oh, actually, I could show this off. So, normally there's a missile expansion on top of this ship, and you come back to this room later. But fun fact, this missile just isn't here until you beat Jump Guardian. For whatever reason, the layer that spawned this missile is tied to Jump Guardian being dead, or collecting space jump boots. One of the two. Oh, fun little thing here. So when you first enter GFMC, if you skip this, if you like slope jump and skip this cutscene trigger like here, that like where Samus goes and sees like what happened to the the troopers, where like the splinters killed them, and then you come back to this room later, this gate will just be permanently lowered, so you never actually have to lower it. And I think it's a small time save in Hundo.
You can also collect that item in GFMC twice by triggering the
Yeah. It used to be done that way for speed purposes, but then with out of bounds discovered, I forget who routed in the out of bounds movement in the Splinter Hive, where you actually go out of bounds to trigger item loss faster, but also you're doing it to get access to the missile expansion as soon as you lose your items.
Okay.
I'll show that off later, but okay. So fun fact: if I just roll down here and don't trigger the teleport again, this Luminov turret is just sitting there.
Huh.
Just silently waiting. I can show that off, actually. Let's go to landing site. Or no, let's go to Hive Chamber 8. So I'll show off the wall crawl for what's usually done in Hundo. Oh, right. I thought I was about to fight. Also, excuse me, sorry. Can't believe I just burped on stream. It's disgusting. For some reason, my mind was like rando. I was like expecting these to be like opened already.
Right.
So, in 100%, you do the same secret world, but instead of doing item loss skip. Although that is done, I think, later for speed purposes, but not to like actually skip anything. Oh, I need to go this way. You actually go through this section, and it's a little bit faster than triggering the Dark Troopers in bounds. It's like I think it saves about 10 seconds when done optimally. Of course, I can't Aether jump today, so. So we wall crawl through here. So then the room that you actually meet Dark Samus in is this room coming up, and I actually enter this room while the room is still transitioned to Hive storage, and what that's going to do is let me hit this. So it's not going to actually trigger the item loss sequence. I'm not sure where I'm at exactly. Oh, I think I'm in. Oh, I'm in a tunnel. I'm BashPrime. Okay, there we go. Let me find where I'm supposed to go here. Okay, I think that was good. So there's a bomb cover that blocks this missile expansion, but the missile expansion right now is not spawned. If I trigger, it only spawns with when I trigger item loss, and that is the sole reason that you lose your items at 100% because of this one missile. 100% has a source requirement, so you have to collect every item from their original location. And because this missile doesn't spawn until you do this item loss sequence, I forgot that happens with Light Suit. Also, all my items are gone. So if you have like a full inventory and you lose your items, you just lose everything. But it's interesting because it doesn't reset the game world. Also,
alert.
Yeah. So there was like a bombable cover here that you could destroy while out of bounds, and this lets me pick up this missile as my first one at 100%. So what you used to do was, you would do. Actually, I could show that off in GFMC. Game? Nice sound effect, playing at like 300% volume. That can happen sometimes. Echoes is a very, very stable game. Actually, it is very well polished for what it is.
Yeah, especially for how quickly they had to get it out.
Can I get a slow jump? I don't have to do this. I could just literally just bomb jump or get my items back. So what you would do is you would get this really precise slope jump to be able to skip going this way and into the cutscene. There we go.
Yeah, that's an odd one because you got to go up and to the side.
Yeah, so I got missile launcher. And then if you trigger the cutscene, like AFB said, or sorry, like Sheik said, it
Oh look, it's back.
Yeah. In Rando, it's really great if it's like a progressive suit, because you just get light suit out of it. Or if you get main power bombs, you'll get like 4 power bombs to start with instead of 2.
Yep.
Oh yeah, so I was thinking about like Cannonball, where like you have a hitbox that destroys things. It's meant for situations like this where War Wasp will just straight up die to it, just because of stuff like that. So you're in that state briefly until you hit the ground, but then because we do that out of bounds thing, that lets me unmorph. That's how you keep it. Okay, I think I got time for like maybe one more thing, but I'm trying to think of like what I could show off. Oh, I know what I can do. What's a good SDK I could show off? Probably Cursed Lake. That or... Actually, I'll do Hive Entrance. There's like a frame perfect thing. It's like, it's really dumb. It's not game breaking, but it's cool. And I want to try to pull it off if I can. Oh, I should probably give myself my items again.
Yeah, I don't think you're getting across there without Space Jump and Screw Attack.
Yeah, probably. All right, so So I think if you frame perfectly switch visors when you hit this in cache, so like, okay, so see how this like this bright thing shows up? If you I think change visors the frame that you hit the in cache, this like bright light just appears in combat visor. it's kind of it's really kind of cool. Let me go to like I don't know, like Dark Oasis. I need to kill PB Guardian though. Oh wait, no I don't. I can just change the I can change the layer. I'll go for it like a couple times, and if not, then it's not the biggest deal. Oh, I'll finish this by crashing the game.
Perfect.
How's that sound? How's that sound? Yeah.
Perfect.
Where are my power bombs at? There we go. Oh, actually, the reload. Yeah, yeah. So this, where is he? I don't know. Where's Bobby Fischer? I think it's second pass. That's what loads. And that actually is also what loads the Inkstorm that are in that room, because they're not there in the beginning.
Yeah, because in the beginning you have like one E-tank and
yeah, then
no
the Inklets in here
suits.
too. Yeah. So these like purple and red particles just shred your health if you don't have light suit.
There he is.
Ah, dang it.
So Bash showed it off earlier when he was going to fight Dark Samus, but if you are in the light world in a room that has a dark or that has an in cache normally, when you use Dark Visor, you can actually see the in cache.
The outline, yeah.
Which is
I could show it off in like industrial side, I think.
yeah.
I'm too late. Trying to see if I can pull this off, but it's not the biggest deal if I can't. It's just kind of neat. Oh, I can do another thing. Oh no, this one I need screw attack. I can't screw attack into because I'm underwater. That was way too soon.
Unless you get air underwater.
Yeah. You can do that in Dark World, right? It's just water, yeah.
Yeah.
Let me
I think you can anyway.
I'm gonna try a different flying and cache glitch instead that I think I can pull off, but let me do it in like let me do it in Battleground. So fun fact, you can actually stand on enemies sometimes, and it's really great for like platforming reasons. Alright, so I'm gonna do this, and then... Oh, what? Nice force morph. There was a way where you could, like, get this guy to be invisible. Oh, I might have to do it in the animation. Oh, there we go, there we go.
Nice.
Yeah, so if you're in the initial screw attack animation, just bump into him. He just disappears.
And he like doesn't move either. He's actually stuck.
Yeah. I didn't realize he froze in place like that, though. But yeah, you can still kill it. It's just invisible. All right, let's wrap this up with one last. Oh, I'll show off. What's his name? Robert?
Yeah,
Sammer?
Robert, the homie.
Let me get some water first. I should hydrate before I do this. Okay, so Mining Plaza. Great room to bully me in if I'm playing randomizer and you submit a seed. If you give me a Sky Temple Key mining plaza, I will ban you. All right, so I'm gonna do. I'm gonna have some fun with Robert here. I've done this in a while, so this might take a few tries. Or not. Might be okay. Oh, there we go. Yeah. So this used to be the way you'd go out of bounds to go to Dark Beam, and then also you would also use this to go out of bounds and go to Torvis if you don't have Screw Attack. So Robert is a very, very great enemy. Also, hello. I guess I'll show off the whole wall crawl. So this used to be the Dark Beam wall crawl done for any percent, and then also Hundo before Aegon Temple Secret World was labbed out. This is also one of those like door like proximity loads where you have to actually shoot the door and get next to it. So I go here. I'm outside the room's box. This one's a pretty narrow box, and then I go up back and land on the door, transition. I haven't fought the pirates in this save yet, so they're gonna get triggered. But this one will not reposition. Some cutscenes reposition you. I think it's explicitly if the cinematic like Samus bottle is shown on screen. Yeah. I think it uses her the player's coordinates for that, which is why she gets repositioned.
That makes sense.
Oh shoot. Okay, normally I would activate the gate, but I don't do the. I can do gate skip now, so I don't have to worry about that. And then, funny enough, you could like shoot through like ceilings and walls from the other side because there's no real like standable collision per se. And then there's normally a fight here, which you skip out of bounds. If I jumped, I would trigger it, but instead. But like going through the back way is just way more. It's a lot more direct and by extension faster.
Yeah.
I did this wrong. Game, please. Oh, that's not gonna work. Oh, this is kind of awkward, actually. I might have to try this again. Oh, no, we're fine. I'm unmorphed.
Yeah, this is that where going out of bounds gets kind of a little sketchy sometimes, depending on what you're standing on.
Yeah, you have to practice these.
You end up getting stuck in something pretty easily.
All right, so there's a door coming up that, for some reason, so I'm gonna load the door. I'll actually fall down here and be kind of level. So I'm gonna start loading it by getting this proximity load, but I'm gonna jump on this door. For some reason, if you just hold R and then transition the room, it crashes. Literally, it's because like if you hold R. If you don't hold R, you're fine. If you hold R, it just you get the fun sound of fun times, and then you have to restart your console. So I think that is all the time I've got. I've got to go back home and play Animal Crossing New Leaf on my Nintendo 3DS system. Seriously though, this was a really, really great showcase. I can't believe that run went as well as it did.
Yeah.
Shout outs to Midwest Speedfest. If you want to play Metroid Prime 2 or 1 or 3, if you want to go kind of fast in those games, I highly recommend you go to www.metroidprime.run, or maybe you don't need the www part, but that'll redirect you to the Metroid Prime speedrunning wiki, and that has a bunch of information on all 3 Prime games, as well as links to the various Discord servers for each game, for the speedrunning communities, and then also for Randomizer. Highly suggest Randomizer if you want to try one. That's really cool. Yeah. I apologize for some of my missed strats. I know I fell down a lot. I hope you all enjoyed that. It's been a lot of fun. Shoutouts to Sheeker Booty. I can't believe this actually happened.
Right?
Like where I got to have a peanut gallery.
Heck yeah.
So, so appreciate it.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna do that for awkward reasons.
Bash,
shouts to,
where can these wonderful people find you on Twitch?
oh yeah. You can find me at twitch.tv/BashPrime. I stream primarily on Mondays and Wednesdays, and then sometimes stream on the weekends. I do a lot of like Echoes randomizer, sometimes Prime randomizer. I'll get like viewer submitted randomizer seeds that just bully me. It's great content. I try to have a good time with it. Shouts to the randomizer community. Shouts to the Echoes speedrunning community. They're all really, really great people. And shouts to Midwest Speedfest. This is going to be a great event. We got like 2.5 days of content here, along with all the VGM con stuff that I think they're streaming on Twitch too, right? So, yeah, shouts to the Save the Music Foundation. It's a great cause. Please consider donating if you have not yet. Any small amount, or any amount, no matter how small or large, counts. Seriously. So, thank you all so much. That's going to be it for me.
Real quick, we have a $10 anonymous donation that says Bash. Wait for it. Wait for it. Prime. Give it up for BashPrime, everyone.
Hey. Thank you, guys.